Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video via social media and with your friends via email. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by Fortune and written by Chloe Berger titled, "Renting is Getting Too Expensive for Generation Z, Making Living Alone a Luxury Saved for Middle-Aged." Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before I get started, I want to tell you that this has to be one of the most eye-opening articles that I have read in a long time. I just couldn't believe what the latest census data revealed about housing in America. This is truly disturbing, and it really helps paint a picture of what is happening across our great country. According to the author, solo living has become a luxury saved for middle-aged. 50 is the average age of the typical U.S. renter living alone, per the latest census data reported from 2022. Is that absolutely crazy? The author went on to say 20-somethings have long had roommates to cut costs while living on entry-level salaries, especially when making ends meet in large cities. But in a time of skyrocketing rent and inflation, the trend is solidifying as one of the only ways young adults can afford city life or renting in general. In the late 1960s, just 6% of young adults 18 to 31 lived with roommates who weren't their partner, per Pew Research. But by 2018, 1 in 3 was living with someone who wasn't a partner or a college roommate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, does this provide you with some insight into the financial struggles that some are experiencing in this new economic reality here in America? I have no doubt sharing the cost of housing is the only way that some people can afford to put a roof over their head. For many everyday Americans, rent increases have outpaced their wage increases. In fact, the author of this article hit home about this point. I'll quote the author as saying, "As the cost of living climbs faster than salaries for Gen Z entry-level workers, spending 30% of income on rent has become the new normal in a lot of big cities, per Moody's analysis. Living paycheck to paycheck has left many people turning to extra jobs just to make ends meet." Well, my heart goes out to these everyday Americans who are struggling to afford housing on their own. It saddens me that some may need to delay some milestones in life, such as starting a family, because of the high cost of housing. While this may be the case for some young people, I have no doubt there are others who could afford to rent an apartment on their own, but they are trying to be frugal by living with roommates. This could be due to a variety of reasons, including, but not limited to, saving for a down payment for a home, or saving money to pay cash for a vehicle, or paying off student loans, or perhaps saving to start a business. Now, some of you might say these people should just buy a house instead of paying sky-high rent. Well, that isn't as easy as it once was here in America. We have all heard about the shortage of housing inventory that has driven up prices in some areas. The author of this article said the average home price has spiked over the last decade from $334,400 at the end of 2013 to $513,400 right now, according to the St. Louis Fed data, making the market almost impossible for a young adult to navigate without the help from their parents. I tend to agree with the author here. Many young people without financial help from their parents could have a hard time competing to purchase a home. In fact, an author named Alina Botros wrote an article on Yahoo Finance put out by Fortune back on October 19, 2023, titled, "Housing Has Become a Nepo Market. Here are the best ways to help your kids buy a home." She is referring to nepotism in the title of her article. She indicated that a Redfin survey revealed that 38% of buyers under the age of 30 used a cash gift from a family member or an inheritance for the down payment. For young people with wealthy parents, they may be able to purchase a house and get out of the rental market. For those who are on their own, the dream of home ownership may be years or decades away and may involve a lot of sacrifice to get there. If some of you watching this video are still living with roommates and you dream of having your own place someday, keep your chin up, continue working hard, and make good financial decisions moving forward, and that dream may be a reality at some point for you. Generation Z is not the only generation struggling financially. I read an article today on Yahoo Finance put out by Go Banking Rates and written by Jordan Rosenfeld, titled 44% of boomers say their financial situation is worse this holiday season compared to last year, survey finds. The author references a recent Go Banking Rates survey. 44% of boomers reported that their financial situation is actually worse this holiday season as compared to last year. I guess it is not a happy holiday season for some baby boomers this year. I am very sorry to hear about this. I hope that they're able to overcome their financial woes. You might be wondering why 44% of baby boomers are reporting their financial situation to be worse this year. The author references Jay Zigmont, Ph.D., CFP, who said, "For boomers that have already retired and are on a fixed income, inflation and rising interest rates have eaten into any room they had in their budget." Here are my thoughts. I have no doubt that a large number of baby boomers have no retirement savings and rely only on Social Security to survive during retirement. Many have seen the buying power of that money erode in recent years. The cost of living adjustments provided by Social Security may not have kept pace with their expenses each month, especially if they are renters or in poor health. I feel bad for those who are in this situation. Some may need to find ways to live further beneath their means or consider a part-time job to bring in more income. I am sure this is not the retirement that many dreamed about when they were younger, but it is unfortunately the reality right now for some. I read some of the comments beneath this article and I found them to be interesting, so I'm going to share a few with you. One commenter wrote, "I would disagree that only 44% of boomers are worse off than last year. Probably more like 94%. Another commenter said, "Unfortunately, right now, everybody is struggling. It just sucks." The last commenter said, and I'll quote, "I'm a boomer and I thought my grandparents' generation had it better financially. When manufacturing was a core business in the States, things were much better. They had pensions, we have 401ks. I am sure that some with a 401k have had a hard time stomaching the ups and downs depending on what is happening with the market. I tend to agree with this last commenter. Prior generations that had lifetime pensions probably slept better at night, not having to worry about their equity positions fluctuating. If you are a baby boomer, is your financial situation better this holiday season compared to last year? Let me know in the comments section below. So far today, I've reported about Generation Z and baby boomers. I wonder how many people in these generations and some of the other generations are struggling to pay off items they bought recently using buy now, pay later services. I read an article today on Yahoo Finance put out by Reuters titled, "U.S. Banking Regulator Warns on Risks of Buy Now, Pay Later." According to Reuters, a top U.S. banking regulator on Wednesday warned banks to manage the risks to consumers posed by increasing popular buy now, pay later financing for retail spending, saying the services create pitfalls for retail shoppers. Reuters went on to say, the loans allow borrowers to pay off a purchase in 4 or fewer interest-free installments, but regulators warn they can lead to trouble, leaving unsuspecting borrowers overextended. Here are my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. These buy now, pay later services are becoming quite the phenomenon. I see them advertised everywhere, and I continue to read stories about these services. I worry about those who want things in their life now and use these services. Some may not be able to make these payments later. If you trash your credit, life gets a lot more difficult in this complex world that we are all living in. In my opinion, if you don't have the money, don't buy it. If it is something you really need, look for another option. For example, perhaps you could find some odd jobs to do for someone to earn some extra money. I just hate to see people going into debt for everyday purchases with buy now, pay later services when they may struggle to make the payments. A lot of people are using these services though. Reuters indicated consumers spent nearly $1 billion during Cyber Monday with buy now, pay later loans. Did you hear what I just said? Nearly $1 billion just on Cyber Monday using buy now, pay later loans. Does this sound like an economy here in America that is headed in the right direction? The fact that a top U.S. banking regulator is warning about buy now, pay later loans should give all of us reason for some concern, in my opinion. Do you know people who have been using buy now, pay later loans? If so, tell me about it in the comments section below. I read another interesting article today on yahoo.com put out by The Week US, titled 401k Hardship Withdrawals Rise. According to the article, more Americans are tapping their retirement savings to pay their bills. 2.3% of workers took a hardship withdrawal last quarter, up from 1.8% a year earlier, according to Fidelity Investments. Here's what is most interesting. The top two reasons given were to avoid foreclosure for homeowners or eviction for renters and for medical expenses. Again, I asked the question, does this sound like the economy here in America is headed in the right direction? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Please keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video via social media or via email with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.